Welcome to part 31 of this series where I talk about a specific family branch of mine, walk you through what I know about them, what I don't know, and what I think I may or may not be able to learn about them. And if you haven't noticed, it's been a very long time, probably a year or more since I've done one of these, and there's a very simple reason for it is at episode number 30, I had ran out of branches to talk about. And so the only way that I was going to talk about another one would be if I uncovered a brick wall, which for anybody who's been doing genealogy for a long time, those things don't come every single day. They are on the rare side. But I have to say, thanks to Ancestry's new Pro Tools DNA matching function, which I talked about in the last episode, I was able to smash through a brick wall, and it happened completely unexpectedly, completely by accident when I was scrolling through some matches. So today, I'm going to walk you through what I learned about my family, who my new branch is, and how this tool can be used moving forward for learning more about your hidden matches. For the longest time, I knew that my great-great-grandfather Reuben Kushner's parents were named Yuda Itzik Kushner and Sora, and that they lived in Daugavpils, Latvia, also known as Dvinsk. From local records, I was able to glean that Sarah died in 1894 and that her father was named Fivish Shmuel. But try as I might, I could never find her surname. I looked through every available record, both from Latvia and America. A marriage certificate for her son, Hyman, lists her name as Sarah Roberts, but all other documents simply call her Sarah. And I knew that Roberts was a generic anglicized name. Maybe her name started with an R, but who knew? Even when I contacted the Latvian State Archives, they sent me back a form saying, hey, we found this about your Kushner family, but there's just nothing else we can do about Reuben's mother. We just don't know who she is. There are no documents that mention anything additional about her. Cut to when I was browsing through my DNA matches, well, what did I find? It was a small match, one that seemed to link up with several of my Kushner relatives. So that was why I was paying more attention to it. And when I went to look at the person's family tree, a name immediately jumped out at me. Fivish Shmuel. And the surname listed was Gravets. And I thought I had heard that name before. Where on earth could it be? Oh, that's where it was. Remember Hyman Kushner, the man I had just shown the marriage certificate for that lists his mother as Sarah Roberts? Well, this certificate was actually to his second wife, Molly Proto. His first wife was a woman named, wait for it, Ida Gravets, who research revealed was the daughter of Zalman or Samuel Gravets, who himself was the son of Fivish Shmuel Gravets, born around 1816 and who resided in Kavarskas, Lithuania. An 1858 census shows Fivish Shmuel living with his wife and 4 children, and what do you know? One of them was named Sora. She happened to be born within about a year of Yuda Itzik Kushner, and Yuda Itzik's son, Hyman, had married his first cousin, his uncle's daughter. The family was hiding in plain sight, pretty much there on my family tree all this time. And I never thought to look at my great-great-great-uncle's wife's family. But she was descended from the same person that my great-great-great-grandmother was. Needless to say, I did not get a lot of sleep that night and have been working on fleshing out the Gravets family as much as I can. It's been tough since there are very few Kavarskas records online, and the only branch I've learned anything about is Zalman's, whose descendants went by surnames such as Gravitz and Grove. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Gravets is probably an alternate spelling of the very common Jewish surname Kravitz, which means tailor, And there are so many different variations and spellings of this name. You know, even the ones who moved to America went under Gravets or Grove. Kravitz is also a pretty common name that people just go under. And there were even a lot of people with that surname in Kavarskas who I wasn't sure whether they were actually related to my Gravets family. So unfortunately for right now, without having additional censuses from the town or additional records, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot more I can learn about this family. However, I was able to take it back a couple of generations just from this one census. My third great-grandmother was Sora Gravets, born around 1848 and died in 1894. Her parents, my fourth great-grandparents, were Fivish Shmuel Gravets and Michla, born around 1815 and 1816. And Fivish Shmuel's father was named Todrus, presumably born sometime around the late 1700s, and there's only a couple of references to him, including that census, as well as some tax documents from Kavarskas. Even immediately as I discovered this particular branch, I was able to figure out who some of my mystery DNA matches were, including finding a non-paternity event, along with a lot of other random DNA matches that had just been sitting there, kind of mystery to me. So, you know, if you really can use this tool to go through some of the matches that you thought you couldn't figure out and take a look at who their shared matches are, how many centimorgans do you really share with them? And then if you want, you can plug it into a tool like DNA Painter's WATO or What Are the Odds tool to give you a better sense of where they might fall on your tree. So here we go, another brick wall smashed. Hopefully I get to have another one of these with you much sooner than I expect. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.